So let's dive into Assignment Builder, and we're going to start by taking a look at some of the features. Assignment Builder is something that is available to us from the giant publisher EBSCO, and you'll see a lot of the databases we have say EBSCO on them. And it's available to us as an external tool through Canvas, and I'll show you how you can work with it. So why do we like it? Because you can use permalinks, and as the library might have any changes to those permalinks, then those are going to reflect in the Assignment Builder reading list that you create. An Assignment Builder is set up so that you can create a reading list not only of items that are available from FAU libraries, both print and online, ebooks, etc., e-journals. It also is available for websites and things like that. We'll get into that more. Why are we excited about the the permalinks? Because that helps us to avoid copyright problems. Because one of the main problems that people have is the idea that they want to make the information available, the article, whatever, for their class. And the best practices are that you give a link to that item rather than actually attaching a PDF. If you attach a PDF, it's quite possible that you are going to be infringing on somebody's copyright. But if you give the link where our students have access to the materials through the library, then you're not going to be involved with any copyright infringement problems.
And that's a key point, Lauri. Thank you for mentioning that, because that's the copyright compliance is one of the things that we are really trying very hard to emphasize.
So what else do we like about Assignment Builder? You can easily add notes or instructions, and I'll show you how to do that, but I love it. You can link to the web-based resources, and what's nice is it's not just linking to a website, but as we're starting to use more of these open educational resources, or OER, I'm going to show you how you can link to something like that and make things a little bit easier for you and especially for your students. One of my favorites is that you can save lists of resources and then you can reuse them, either the entire list or just one or two components of it. And so this is a feature I really like. And what you're seeing on the right-hand side of your screen is a screenshot, and we'll be able to look at it in live time, but just to get you a little bit familiar with all of the different features, we have our reading list here, and we've got our import from the existing list, creating the folder, adding text or instructions, adding web resources, and so I've got some things here. I played with one and as a note put assignment, write an annotated bibliography for 3 of these articles, and I had a list of articles below. So I was able to give the students what I wanted for them to look at. They did not have to worry about accessing it as long as they were logging into the library through their FAU account, and they had full access to those articles. The other thing is you can make your list private, which is the default, or public. Now, making it public does not mean everybody in the world gets to see it, but it would make it public for those people who are at FAU. And again, because this is on the back end of Canvas, we're talking about you then only sharing with faculty, so it should make things a lot easier for you. We also have some how-to videos, and those are going into our library guide, and they will also end up being part of what's on our YouTube channel. And we've broken this into segments of anywhere from 1 to 5 minutes, I believe. So it should make life fairly easy for you if you just need to look at one particular point to remember how to do something.
And thank you for clarifying that, making public, what that means, because that's always a scary thought.
Yeah, yeah. We're within our own community, and I love that.
That makes it much better.
So we have a library guide, which is called Assignment Builder, and I'm going to see if it's going to actually let me in here. I don't think it's going to, so I'll bring us in there in a minute. I'm just going to go to the last slide here, and let you know that we also will be going into Canvas. So while I'm pulling up the guide, if you want to go ahead and open up Canvas so you can follow along, you're welcome to do so. And I'm going to go ahead and share a web browser with you. So first of all, we're going to go library.fau.edu to get to our library website. And I'm looking right here at the research guides in the blue box. It's on the right side towards the bottom. And if I just put in assignment, and do a search, it will bring up Assignment Builder. And so here's my Assignment Builder. So the Assignment Builder class, guide is set up here. It's going to tell you basically what I just told you, the same screenshot that you saw on the slide. It has directions for how to use Assignment Builder. Just follow them in order. How Assignment Builder works, it's going to be searching FAU Libraries content from within Canvas. This is also a way that you can not only search, but you can also filter for different types of content. Then you're going to click Add to Reading List, and it's going to automatically put it in a reading list. And from there, if you want to create files of information, you can indicate that certain articles or whatever you've put in the reading list is associated with a particular folder. That folder then can be reused multiple times. And you can also annotate your reading lists and copy other reading lists that have been created within FAU and bring materials in. So it's a pretty nice way to do things. So you'll notice this says how to use Curriculum Builder. And EBSCO, who's created this, calls their version of it Curriculum Builder. We call it Assignment Builder. There's Method in Our Madness. Assignment begins with A, so it's a little bit easier. It's at the top of our external tool list. So that may make things a little bit easier for you. You can get additional information from the vendor. There are 2 different sites that we're taking you to, and also you can watch their video, but know that we also have videos. Ideas for use. We're going to be going over some of those, but just so you know that we have some that somebody had created, and then we also have some that we've come up with here at FAU Libraries. And then the videos are going to appear right here. So let's go directly into Canvas, and you'll see I've already logged in. And I happen to have a course here for Assignment Builder Demo. And Assignment Builder is very easy to use. I can use it within one of the modules that I've already created, or I can create a new module and then work with it in that. It really doesn't make any difference. So maybe I want to add a reading list here to Module 2. To do that, I'm going to go ahead, and I'm not going to make it an assignment, a quiz, or any of those. I'm going to go down to External Tool. And if you want for me to go back, if you're just catching up and you just opened up Canvas, let me know and I'd be happy to go back. So I'm going to click on External Tool, and here's Assignment Builder front and center.
Right up at the top.
Right at the top. And so you can click on that, and you'll notice that I have a scroll here. Now, it automatically assigns the name of Assignment Builder, and I can change that later, but if I want to make life easier on myself, I can go ahead and put in a page name. So I'm going to put in PD Session so that I know where this is from. And then I'm going to go ahead and do my Add Item. When I do this, I put this in Module 2. Here's my PD Session, so you can see it's already showing up.
Yeah.
Now, I always forget to publish things. I don't know about you, but I forget to publish. So I know that I'm not going to be giving this out to the student right now, and so I'm going to hit publish right now so I don't forget. And I will go into my PD session. And what I like about this is if I already have a reading list that I've been working on, I can go right here to see current reading list. But if I'm starting from scratch, then I can go ahead and do my, my search right here. So we are all about professional development in today's session, so I'm going to put in professional development. You all know the trick too that if I say that I want for it to be seen as a phrase rather than just the words anywhere,
Oh, yes.
I will put it in quotation marks.
Yes. Thank you for that reminder.
That's when I use my home and my end keys on the computer. That's about the only time. And I only have over 900,000 items.
Oh my.
Only. And they're sorted by relevance, similar to what you would see if you were doing a OneSearch search from our library's homepage. And it gives me the options here similar to that. It tells me automatically how things have been filtered. And so right now they're limited to what's available in the library collection and searching within the full text of the articles for that phrase, professional development. And it's also applying equivalent subjects. But if I'm looking for something for my class, I might say that I want something that is peer-reviewed. So I'll click on peer-reviewed. Notice it did keep that available in library collection. And I will say update. So now I'm going to be getting a smaller number of results. And I might go down here and choose my source type if I wanted. I'll just open these up so you can get an idea of what's in here. And if I wanted to make sure that I'm doing just the academic journals and not those book reviews within them, then I would click on academic journals.
Excellent. So we're getting a review on effective search strategies
Yes.
as well. Thank you.
Review for you and me.
Yeah.
So source type, okay, we got it down to academic journals. This number here should match this number here. It does. Well, almost. We're off within 2. It's one of those don't quote me on this, right?
Yeah.
Now, subject. These are shown in order of the number of times they showed up in the results. So professional development, I'm going to choose that right off the bat. And notice I can only choose one at a time, but I can keep going back here to subject. And now that I've chosen professional development, now I can go ahead and choose exactly what it is that I'm looking for. So I'm looking for professional development in higher education. And this number to the right, every time I'm here, both in subject or any of these other areas, indicates the number of times this particular item was found within the results. So foreign countries was found over 1,100 times in the results.
Wow.
So maybe I'd like to go ahead and choose career development. Oh, wait, I didn't want that one. College faculty, I didn't see that. Oh, well, I will leave it at that. Although I could actually, if you make a mistake like I did, you could go ahead and instead of career development, just go ahead and click this negative in the red.
All right.
And then
Disappeared.
yeah, so you don't have to go back and recreate the wheel. And we were going to college faculty. And I'm down to 419. That's really nice. I might take a look at subject again and see if there was something in particular that I was looking for, whether it was teaching methods or attitudes. You'll notice the larger numbers going down to smaller numbers. So maybe it's going to be educational practices. And I'm doing a class where I want to work with students so that they know about professional development for college and educational practices related to it. I'm down to 22. I usually like to get about 40, so I narrowed it maybe a bit too much, but that's okay. So what am I looking at here? This looks just like the catalog record that shows up in OneSearch.
Yeah, that's
and
exactly
so you've got
right.
the information here, the title, which you can see as a hyperlink, the authors, the information that I would need for my citation right here, an abstract, and also my subject headings. And it also gives me a link, in this case to PDF full text, and also report a problem. So if I have a problem with that, this report a problem will go directly to our e-resources, and they'll be able to take care of that problem. So I may take a look here, and I know all about Kirkpatrick. I didn't realize that they were using them in Shanghai. And if I want to find out more about it, obviously I'd read the abstract, look at the subjects. I could also click here on the title. This takes me into what I typically would be seeing in the format that I would be seeing it when I'm working with the search, one search off of the library's homepage. This should be saying, and it's not saying right now, I'll have to go backwards. It should have given me the open PDF. And what I do recommend, let's go backwards here. What I do recommend is that you go ahead, our PDF exited. Let's go to another one. Okay, this one's giving me the full text PDF. I do recommend that you just take a look at the actual article. Make sure that you are able to get in. We know we're dealing with machines, and sometimes there are machine errors. And so just make sure that you are able to get in before you assign it to your class, just like you normally would.
Right.
And so this tells me, yes, I'm able to do that. And let me get back here. So all I have to do to add this to my reading list is click Add to Reading List. Notice it automatically reverts to a red saying, hey, if you want to get rid of this, this is where you're going to click. And so I might go ahead and do several more. Didn't mean to hit report a problem. And I'm just going to add those. Now, how do I know what's in my reading list versus what's in my list of what's available? I'm going to go back up to the top and click on See Current Reading List. In doing so, it's going to populate what I have here.
Oh, look at that.
Now, if I don't like the order that they are in, like say I want this Learning to Teach and Do up at the top, you'll see that I have little arrows here, and I also have a sort order, and I could type in sort order, but it's a whole lot easier for me to drag and drop. And then that makes life easy. Notice this also says find it at FAU. So when you find material at FAU libraries, oftentimes it will say the full text PDF like this one down here. Sometimes, and this one, it's not even giving me a link, so I'm going to make sure that I'm not using that. It may also give you a full text HTML, or it may give you the Find It at FAU, and that's why I recommend you always double check. Find It at FAU means that it was not found automatically in the EBSCO listing. That's not bad. That just means that they're the ones, they're
Send you through theirs
sending
first.
it through their, they send it through what they have in their lists, and then we have to add things in, and so sometimes they don't, it just doesn't compute right. So if it says Find It at FAU, you should be able to get to FAU. So I'm going to take this one that I put in that I don't have anything available for, and I'm going to say delete, and I'm going to remove it. And maybe I want to add a note to this, and so I'm going to add a note. So read this article first. And maybe I want to add a note for the entire class. And so maybe I'm going to indicate so I'm making it easy on the students, and I'm adding that in. And so they now have general directions for what they're going to be doing. I want to go ahead and move this up to the top so they'll see it right at the beginning. Read your chapter assignment, chapter 2 first, then read these articles. I've told them read this article first. Well, it doesn't show that. How am I going to see it? So let's go ahead and let's take a look at our student view. And we know we can go down to settings on the left side of the page. My computer's being slow. And I have to move something here to get to it. There we go. And that is what it's going to look like for my student. And this is what this reading list is going to look like at this time. So here's my information for them in general. And then here is my information that I put in for that first article.
Oh, great.
So that makes life fairly easy for you and for them. Remember, you can reuse this material. Let's go ahead and get out of our student view and go back in. And I'm going to, because I've already made the reading list, I'm in this PD session, so I know which module I'm in and which reading list. I'm going to say See Current Reading List. Now, I mentioned to you, you could import from an existing list. First of all, let me show you how you could create a list. And so we'll do it that way. We're going to go ahead and say add a folder. And I shouldn't say list, I should say folder. This is a list. Your PD session is a reading list. And then the folder, we can create multiple folders within a reading list.
So what would you put into the folder then?
So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to put this information that I have in creating a folder. I'm going to say that this is PD
resources.
Reading list resources. And I'll create my folder. Once I've created a folder within my list, I can now see that it gives me an opportunity to do a move to folder.
Oh.
And so now I can put that within that folder, and okay, now notice these all disappeared. You're like,
Yeah,
what
'cause
happened
you
to them?
Put them in the folder.
Well, I put them in the folder, and here they are in the folder. And so now I'm going to go into my folder, and there are my items.
Okay, so question for you, Lauri.
Yes.
So the folder, is that a formatting that you would use, say, to create a reading list for different modules?
You could do it for different modules, or if you have different, like I was looking at one that was electricity and magnetism, and maybe you want to separate
them.
Those that were strictly about electricity, those strictly about magnetism, and then maybe you'd like to have within the general reading list those that talked about both electricity and magnetism and how they correlated. So you could do something like that. And this is where it's up to you to see what's going to work best for you. Now, I could also, at this point or any point, go in and import from existing list. And I have quite a few existing lists. I have the public lists right here. I also have the lists that I've created, and it allows me to view the entire list.
Wow.
So that's kind of nice. It will also tell you if a list is private, which all of these are, you're seeing here are private, and also those ones that are public. And so I'm going to take a look in my physics and electricity, and I'm going to view the list because I know that I put some really interesting things in there. So one of the things that I'm going to do is I'm going to take a look at my options. And so my options say I could include notes in the import process. Remember how I put that note in for that one particular item? I could include the notes. I don't want to do that right now. I'm not worried about the sort order. I'm probably going to reorder these. Include folders where applicable. I'm not going to worry about that in this time, but just know that you can take advantage of those. For my point right now, I'm going to go down here, and this is something that I'm able to use. Textbooks available for free in FAU's Wimberley Library. We know that some of our students would like to be able to save some money.
Yeah.
They may not be aware of the fact that we have over 400 classes represented in our textbooks within our reserves. And so this gives an opportunity then to go ahead and put some information like that. And I'm just reusing this text. I don't have to worry about making it up on my own. I know that I put it in there. It's all set. I'm just going to copy that reading. And now it's going to go into my regular.
Look at that.
So I never moved this one into the folder. I do have a folder here that has certain things. So you can do all kinds of things with this. Now, let's say I wanted to add a web resource. So maybe I want to add CNN and add it to my reading list. Notice it's hyperlinked.
I don't think I realized that.
So I could go ahead and put in whatever I want, and I can get as granular as I want with a particular article or web resource. Now I can do the same type of thing. I could take a look at a book that I might be able to find, and maybe I want to go back and search for books at FAU Library, because maybe I know that the library actually has a book that we have as an ebook, unlimited access. And I know that my students would like to be able to use that instead of purchasing the book. So I have one. It's off the topic of PD, but bear with me. And I'm going to go and look for one called Environmental Chemistry. And this is one that we were able to purchase, and it's telling me all about environmental chemistry. And I'm looking for the one by Monahan.
Oh, and it indicates that it's an ebook.
And it indicates it's an ebook and that there's online access, and I'm going to add it to the reading list. Now let's go back here to my reading list. I'm going to look at what I currently have in it. And there's my environmental chemistry. And here's my online access. I'm going to check it out. And this looks just like it does when you get into it from the library catalog. So, and you can tell right here, it says unlimited access. So we always are telling faculty, if you see something that's an ebook, please get in contact with your library liaison, just to make sure that it's a book we actually own and not one that they have put in there saying it's available. Because we get books every month that get put in saying it's available, and we may have to catch that book right at that time and then see if it's available for the unlimited access. Some may only give one person or 3 people or whatever access at a time. So we want to make sure if we can get that unlimited access and you're able to use it for a course, you are doing yourself a favor and your students a favor, because they're going to automatically have access. Nobody's going to be able to say, my textbook didn't come in yet. The bookstore didn't get it, etc.
And that the access information would be available to us by reaching out to the library liaison?
Yes, like I said, we'll be able to check that back end and find out if we currently have access, if we've currently bought it, how many copies we have available for use at the same time, if we could upgrade a subscription or a purchase or things like that. So that gives us the opportunity to work on your behalf. You'll notice over here, too, that there's a sign-in. So faculty, staff, students can sign in, indicating they are related to FAU by using their email address. And that's going to give them additional ways that they can use this. Quite often, they can go ahead and bookmark something. Depending upon the vendor, they may also be able to highlight, leave notes, things like that, and those would always be available for them when they log back in or sign back in. You can also put something on your personal bookshelf, so it's easy to find if you're just going in the catalog. So there are lots of different things that are available.
Download options available on that particular one too.
Yes, there are, but you'll notice typically you're not able to download the entire book. You may be able to download certain number of pages at a time, or print a certain number of pages if that's what you are interested in doing. And they do make it easier here if you wanted to do it by chapter. So makes life fairly easy. But we love this because this then ends up acting as an OER. Sorry, my computer mouse doesn't like me. So this makes things fairly easy. Again, we can go down here to settings and we can take a look at the student view, go into this session, textbooks available for free. It's a hyperlink. It's set up so it launches in a new window. Oh, something went wrong there. We'll have to fix that one. We got access to the book we have information. We could go back in our teacher view and put this up at the top if we wanted. So lots of different ways to do things, and we also have this. So however you'd like to do things, you're able to manipulate this. Am I correct, Judy, that you have used this with your classes?
I have, yes, and like it a great deal. And you have opened my eyes to something too, because what I did when I created it before was go into the library myself and do the search and figure out which ones I wanted, and then create it in the assignment builder. And it's much easier to do it within the program as it is.
It can be, although some people may prefer to actually go into the catalog like you did, because going into the catalog, you can apply more than one subject heading, things like that. So this does have some limitations. Up here is where that says this list is private or public.
Yeah, Craig, can you open his mic? Yeah. Craig would like to. You can join in with us, Craig. My speaker's not on. I can turn it on.
Craig, can you hold on just a second? We need to have you repeat what you just said so we can hear you.
Oh, somebody has their mic on. I do. All right. So what do we need to do to be able to hear Craig?
He can talk right now. You guys can't hear him.
We could not.
You can.
When I turn my mic on, that's what.
On your end. Yeah.
Well, that's because you have your headsets. Nobody has a speaker open. And if we have the speakers open where we are, then we
get
give the feedback.
If you mute their mics for a second, and then. He said he can type it.
Sorry, Craig. Technology, isn't it wonderful?
And once you type it, I'm going to let Judy read it because I can't see with my...
I can do that for us.
I love getting questions about this.
Yes. All right, so while he is...
So would you like for me to go over maybe a few of the ideas for using Assignment Builder while he's typing in?
Absolutely, yes.
Okay.
Please.
Forums, assigning a weekly online discussion board based on assigned readings with students required to participate by posting their own thoughts and responding to posts by other students.
Okay.
Glossaries, increase class understanding of complex terminology by asking your students to build a shared glossary with definitions that students can search and browse based on assigned readings. So again, this is using those assigned readings, and you'd be able to post that on discussion board or whatever other platform within Canvas that you would like. Questionnaires, survey students to gather and share feedback on recommended issues-oriented websites or assigned topical readings. Wikis, we have a wiki feature within Canvas. Build a shared study guide by asking each student to provide an annotated summary to an assigned reading.
Okay.
Yeah, can you turn off your mic and just use that one? Does it speak back?
My mic is off. Thought it was. Yeah.
No, it says it's on right now.
Okay.
Okay, Craig typed, he said, textbooks available for use free in FAU's Warrenburg Library. How do I find that link?
Good question.
Yeah, thank you, Craig.
Okay. I'm going to go to the library. Whoops, if I could type. And we've made it really easy for you. Right here in the blue box at the bottom, it says Textbook Reserves. And it takes you right to that area. And what class if we could get a class, like the three letter name and a class number.
GEB 3213.
Okay, so we'll look here under GEA to GRA, and here's GEB, and here's 3213. And are either or both of these items that he uses with his class? This one's the older edition, and then this is the newer one.
Yeah. So there's your textbook, Craig. Is that it?
Okay, so your question was, is this a ebook or is this a hard copy? And so this in particular, the ones in reserve are going to be the hard copy. If we have an ebook available, we'd be able to look for that in the library catalog. But what we've done with these is we've had faculty, students, other people give us a textbook that they've used for a class as a student, or faculty might have an additional copy. And so we've been able to put those in the reserves, which is at the service desk in the library. And then people have been able to go ahead with this call number right here, and just with their call number and their OWL card, which is also their library card, then they can borrow it for use in the library for 2 hours at a time. And for students who cannot afford a lot of books, this has been a great resource for them.
Okay, and so Craig, which I knew is working on an OER project, and so he's looking in how to track down ebooks for OER. So that's something you'll need to reach out to within the library, right?
Right, the library liaisons. Let me actually go back here to the library's homepage. And
so his question says there's no central list of ebook textbooks.
No, we do not have, we don't even have a list from the bookstore of what the textbooks are. So this is where you need to reach out to your, and you can go here to collection management, and here are library liaisons, and you could bookmark that. And you can see for accounting, business law, it's going to be Darlene Parrish, who will be able to help. You can look at things by department, and you can also look by employee name. So if you wanted to see all of the different areas that Darlene works in, or all of the different areas that I work in, you would be able to go ahead, just put in the name, hit apply, and then it's going to show you all of the different areas that a particular person works on as a liaison. Great question.
So then your next step would be to reach out to your library liaison to see, have her help you find what is available for you.
Exactly. And we sometimes will find that maybe we don't have something showing up in the catalog, even as this might be available. We still might be able to find where it's available in another collection.
Yeah.
So definitely reach out to the library liaison. They're going to know what's where to look and what resources we might have. And sometimes it's looking in multiple places at one time.
It's that where to look that's a key thing, because I start clicking around and then I go, ah!
Yes, we do that too sometimes.
Oh, okay, good.
Always. Any other questions about Assignment Builder? We've had people who've used it for quizzes, assign a graded quiz based on the reading list selections, doing annotated summaries of reading lists, compare and contrast. And compare and contrast can be a really good one. Am I correct, Judy, that you had your students do an assignment where they had multiple resources that you had listed in the reading list, but you did not require them to read all of them?
Correct.
What did you do with that?
I had them select from the list 2 or 3 that they wanted to read in order to develop their own definition, actually, of curriculum. It was what I was looking for. Craig also has a question. Can you only run Assignment Builder through Canvas, or is there an outside way to access it?
You can only run it through Canvas. It is built in as an external tool
Okay.
into Canvas.
Excellent. Great. Thank you. Yeah, I have used it used Assignment Builder in a number of ways, and very much like it. And it makes it so much easier for the students when they don't have to go in and figure out all the search process on their own. We've done that legwork for them.
We've had a lot of students who will click one place and they think they're getting to the article and they don't realize they have to click on the full text.
So now Craig's next question is for students. Do they automatically get to the library because they're logged into Canvas when they're looking at the articles in the assignment builder?
If they do not automatically get in, then each of these articles or resources that we have are automatically set up with an easy proxy prefix. So they would be prompted to log in to OffCampus Connect. And OffCampus Connect is available right here at the lower right corner of that blue box on the main library page.
And that's the same thing we do when we link out to articles, just with the individual articles within there. We'll give them a message that if you're off campus, you need to go through Easy Proxy, the OffCampus Connect, I'm sorry.
Right. So if you were doing this just on your own, like Judy had done, doing a search within one search, you'd be able to do the same type of thing by doing your limitations here, by doing your limiters here to academic, to subject, and then when you get to the actual article that you want, and this is the old-fashioned way that everybody's been having to do this, you've had to get that permalink, which would take people back directly to this.
The article.
Not to the article. It takes them to this page, and then they still have to do this.
Yeah.
The assignment builder, you saw when I clicked on it, it took it directly to the article.
Yeah.
So this skips the step that some of our students are having problems with, realizing that they need to go to that left-hand side and click full text.
Yeah.
So this does eliminate one of those steps for your students.
And you're correct, Craig. Thank you. Yeah. Anything that we put in into our courses, particularly in our online courses, just that gentle reminder, and I've got wording if you want it, or any of us can provide that for you, of knowing that if you're accessing from off campus, you just need to go do the
OffCampus Connect.
OffCampus Connect used to be Easy Proxy. Yeah, thank you. Does Assignment Builder keep the list and folders from course to course, semester to semester? If I copy a course, does it copy the Assignment Builder content I've set up?
Assignment Builder is going to be kept separate. So I could go in a different course and I'd still have access to what I put in Assignment Builder. Since it is an external tool, it is not associated with a particular course that you build.
So when you copy the course over, then you just need to relink it to the right.
You would be able to go in to import from existing list, and you'd be able to find your list that you have, whether it's a private list or a public list that you've. Public would be, if you're sharing with somebody else doing a team teaching.
Oh, yeah.
Or you have multiple people in the department that are doing the same class. Everybody wants to use the same articles. You could do it that way, but this makes life very easy.
And Craig, I know Lauri will make herself available to give you guidance as well.
Absolutely.
And of course us too.
But this makes it really easy to be able to go in, and even if you want to be able to keep using this read chapter 2 and whatever it is that you've said, you can do that.
Yeah.
Like anything else, it's not without its flaws.
Yeah.
But I think it's got a lot of possibilities to make life easier, and I especially love the fact that you are linking directly to the article.
Absolutely. This has been incredible, Lauri. Thank you. and know that we will send her information out as well as the links and so forth that she has shared with us. So this has been beautiful.
Thank you for having me speak about this.
Any closing comments?
Just contact me if you have questions. Contact your library liaison. Also, they are able to help you with all kinds of questions, suggestions. Right now, I'm the main person answering questions about Assignment Builder, but our liaisons also can do that.
Yeah, all right. And Craig also shares his thanks. It looks like a great tool. It really is. I have used it, although not to the extent that I could, I believe. I keep learning new stuff every time Lauri walks in the door. Thank you.
Thank you.